see, I think... Oh. Why am I being picked up twice? What the fuck? Ah, I found the source of the issue. I was being double picked up by my fucking OBS. Hopefully they didn't get picked up on that, though. Anyway, as I was trying to say, the music may not be that loud for you guys, but because YouTube Music's really bad with its, like, audio encoding, I guess, or something, I get deaf every fucking loud bass song. Like, this probably doesn't hit that hard for you guys, but, like, I have the, like, I might have to go through the volume mixer and, like, lower it more, because I've got it to, like, the one tick before it essentially goes mute, and it's still loud as hell. But anyway, hi. It's been a while. Been a very long while. How you guys doing? I've been okay. I've been around, I've been here. I've been going through some, I was not ready for that. I thought that was my soundboard got activated. Anywho, we play a game here, yeah? We play fun, well, I don't know how fun it is. I only opened it to see if it works, essentially. But it's called Hero of Law. It's like a... It's a Phoenix Wright Legend of Zelda, like, combination. And I do actually have a legit looking 64 controller. So yeah, Hero of Law. I'm gonna increase the window size here. Why? What the fuck? Why? Why did... Huh? Oh, don't... Why? Why you do this to me? That one. Okay, that one. Alright, let me increase the window size, and now I have to shrink it. Okay, I think that's the best we're gonna have. Get it. Alright. So. Okay, let's start a new game. Yeah. This game autosaves after each scene. Do not turn off your console during scene transitions. It's so quiet. Do you think they forgot? Forget a royal visitation? No one can make such a blunder, princess. Well, I guess I should just go in then. Our stream BB is almost ready to be born. Thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate it. That was loud as fuck. Yeah. I'll go to the alerts. Game is a bit too. Alright. Is that better? For the game? Never mind, on game. Well, I just lowered it, so I don't know if that's any different. Let me go to my subscriptions here. Can you replay myself? Yeah, I guess I could do that. Hold on. Where's my events? No, don't report. How do I replay? I could report you, but you know what? Here, hold on. I'll do a test. I'll do a test. And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop. Put that to 30. Loud as shit. Loud. Let me do like 20 then. Changes. And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop. Lower it on OBS. I'll lower it on OBS a bit longer. You perf now. Okay. I need to figure out why. Found it. Okay. Okay, we'll do that. Same changes. All right, this is the one that you used. Perfect, no perf. Was that better, by the way? All balanced now. Cool. All right. So, welcome to Hero of Law. This is a game that just kind of popped up on my radar through, I believe it was Cody. But it's a Phoenix Wright Legend of Zelda crossover, essentially. And you could very well put it on an empty N64 cartridge and play it on a Nintendo 64. But, which is totally 100% what I'm doing. Wink, wink. So, I've only played a little bit of it, so I'm kind of excited to see where this goes. Like, I only played a little bit of it to see, like, what the vibe was like, and I was like, you know what, this would be better as, like, a recording or a live stream, and not just, like, a free play. So, you'd think that after so many years of doing this, I'd be used to the stress. Crank DS cartridge before I judge it. You had action replay on your DS? I always wanted that, by the way. So why am I shaking? Guess it's a lot worse than when it's your friend's life that's on the line. Gotta look professional. She can't see you like this. Speaking of her, though, where is she anyway? Hey! You, over there. Huh? What is it, attorney? The trial isn't started yet. But it will be soon, right? Do you happen to know why my client isn't here yet? I didn't get to speak much with her when she was arrested, so I was hoping I could at least exchange a word with her now. Well, you weren't the only one with that idea. I believe she's currently in the prosecutor's lobby. Meanwhile, internal link sounds like Eldritch screaming and yelling. No, so let me turn on my mic a little bit. I feel like I'm peeking it a lot here. There we go. No, so my personal theory is that old Hylian, like 64 Hylian and stuff. Yeah, it's all just those throat sounds.
Someone has followed you.
Whoa.
Why they would do that instead of science,
For the follow.
I have no idea.
Who was that? Who was that just followed? Bison Cadet. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. But no, so my personal theory is that, old Hylian is just those sounds. So, like, Lee could literally be yelling obscenities at the enemies that he's attacking. So, like, instead of, yeah, wah, it's like, you bitch, you fucker, die! I believe she's currently in the prosecutor's lobby. He wanted to talk to her as well. What? What's up with this guy? He bars me from the crime scene, blocks my detention center visits, and now this? Some corruption shit going on. Not to worry. She'll definitely be here before the trial. I'm just imagining Pat Zelda going to town with the yelling. Great. That'll be a joyous 5 minutes indeed. But there's nothing I could do but wait. And wait we did. For a very long time. Okay, this is ridiculous. How much longer can he keep her? Ah, see? There she is. No need to get all worked up. Hi, Malin. Is something wrong? Did I hear shouting? So much for looking professional. No, don't worry. Everything's fine. This is Malin. Ever since we met in Hyrule Castle Town all those years ago, we've been great friends. Her heart's in the right place. I know she cared deeply about her father. Oh yeah, Talon's dead, by the way. If anyone those just joining are kind of curious as to what's going on, Talon got killed, and it looks like Malin was set up. This is looking like the first case of the Phoenix Wright game, where Larry Butts was being set up for murder. If everything's fine, why do you look so worried? Well, how did the investigation go? Did you find anything? Yes, the investigation. I found tons of, groundbreaking stuff. Particularly that my opponent's a real scumbag. What did the prosecutor want from you anyway? Well, it was mostly just threats. He kept explaining in detail what would happen to me if I'm found guilty. Doesn't sound like a vital discussion that needed to happen right before the trial. Probably just did that so we wouldn't have as much time to talk. You believe in me, right? I didn't do it. I'd never. Well, let's look at the court record. Profiles. So we've got Malin, who's 27, longtime friend and the defendant in the case. Talon, deceased, the victim, owner of Lone Lone Ranch, and Malin's living father. We don't have any evidence. Of course I believe you. Of course I believe you. Although, I'll be honest, things aren't looking very good right now. What's that you've got there? Oh, this is just a pictograph of father I carry around. I just can't believe he's gone. I wish I knew how to cheer her up right now. I'm not very good at handling emotional clients. Hey, You know, that pictograph could be really useful for the trial. Oh? How so? Well, you look so happy together. Okay, yeah, that's just a text history. I can present it to show that you two had a great relationship. You really think so? Well, here you go then. Malon's pictograph was added to the court record. I must not be walking in there with something other than my badge. But wait, we shouldn't just be idly chatting. Anyway, there's not much time left. I know it's hard to talk about, but could you tell me what actually happened? I don't stand much chance if I don't know your version of the story. I understand. Unfortunately, there really isn't much to... The trial is starting. Defendee, attorney, please enter the courtroom at once. Shouldn't have said that stuff about having no chance. Alright, everything will be fine. Prosecutor has been playing me for a fool since this began, but sooner or later his arrogance will be his undoing. Let's head inside. I swear to God, if Indigo is the prosecutor, that's gonna be hilarious. My name is Link. I've been a defense attorney for the last 7 years. I've won my fair share of cases, and lost some too. This one is personal. There's so much at stake here. Not only do I have to save Malon's life, I've got to find out who did this to Talon. Talon, he was always so kind. He didn't deserve this. I need to do him justice. I can't lose this. Oh my god, it's fucking Ganondorf. Ganondorf's the prosecutor. Oh, that's so funny. Court is now in session for the trial of Malon of Ronlon Ranch. The defense is ready, Your Honor. His name's Dragmire. This is now the second time you're reacting to Ganondorf. Did I react that same way too? I totally forgot that Ganondorf was the prosecutor. I sincerely doubt that. What were they thinking, pitting me against some pathetic kid? Pathetic kid? What gives you the right to still your tongue? You bring shame upon the fine color of your hair, vile woman. God damn, dude. Before long, the world shall know the horrible deeds you've committed. Let us not prolong the inevitable. Shall we begin? Now, this court is no place to be exchanging insults. Since the prosecution seems to be ready as well, let's hear the opening statements. The opening statement shall also be the closing one. The girl did it. It's obvious. She killed her own father in cold blood. And all so she could have the ranch to herself. Couldn't wait for the old fool to die naturally, could you, you greedy little rat? Objection! Your Honor, you can't allow this man to verbally abuse the defendant like this. Objection! Ha! She committed murder, kid. She deserves every bit of scorn she gets. I do believe a little less commentary wouldn't go amiss. I assure you, old man, you will change your opinion. You will change your opinion once you see all of the damning evidence. Who is this guy? How can he speak to the judge like that? Ganondorf Dragmire. Okay, his last name is Dragmire. Looks like I've been lucky to avoid meeting this man until now. Stories I've heard about him must be true. He is. Like, everyone's pretty well animated. This is amazing. Can't believe this can be done with a legit Nintendo 64. Boorish barbarian of a man hailing from the Gerudo province. Apparently, he prides himself on the nearly clean streak he's cultivated for decades, all while disrespecting everyone in the court, including the judge. I've even heard some attorneys refer to him as the King of Evil. Definitely has that look at the very least. Who wears full armor to the court? Very well. Please present your case to the court. You don't seem to like me talking, so I'll just let the detective present the basics. Bring Impa of the Sheikah Force to the stand. Well, here we go. The first battle. I know Impa. She's quite a competent detective. Which worries me. Please let her have made a mistake just this once. Dude, she looks awesome. I love this. All right. State your name and whatever it is you pretend to do. You never change, do you, prosecutor? Any possible change would be for the worse. Now stop wasting time. Name and occupation. Oh, man. Very well. I am Impa, head detective of the Sheikah Force Homicide Division. True, for now at least. Well, what are you waiting for? Start talking! You were the one assigned to this case, so you know all about it. What calamity has befallen our fair kingdom? Still can't be bothered to give a proper opening statement. Damn, the shade is real. I suppose I could do the prosecutor's job for him this time, for the sake of an unbiased look. Please, go ahead, detective. The incident happened early yesterday morning on Lon Lon Ranch, a local supplier of goods located just south of Castletown. The current owner of the— Why'd she have a dagger? Why would you bring that to court? The current owner of the homestead, Talon, was found dead in his ranch house. A tragic loss for our kingdom, for sure. I've seen the man around Castletown numerous times, delivering goods. Quite. The owner was rather an important figure in the local community. In any case, we were alerted to the scene of the murder by the Royal Guard, who were there on official business. Official business? What kind? As I understand, the ranch provides the kingdom with vital services. To ensure it is operating as it should, as a gesture of appreciation, the Crown orders a visitation to the ranch every year. I see. It's a scheduled annual visit. Continue, detective. When the Sheikah Force arrived, they found the victim bleeding out onto the floor. Next to him lay his daughter Malin, breathing but unresponsive. After a thorough investigation, we arrested her as she was deemed the only possible culprit. That about covers the gist of what happened. Very nice and... What the fuck is that word? Session? Keep that up, perhaps you will keep your job. I don't think the good detective here has much to worry about. Given she is the head of the department. Which reminds me, why is the head of detectives herself on a case like this? Are the other detectives unavailable? That would be because I have been assigned to the case by order of the King of Hyrule himself. The King himself assigned you? Doesn't happen very often, does it? You are correct, Your Honor. I'm not usually involved in field work like this. This time, however, the King felt it necessary because of who was involved. Who version hold? Is the death of a ranch worker really such a concern for the king? Latest version released on the 19th. I don't think I have the latest version. Let me... Oh, God damn it. Why is it doing that? Let me see here. Yeah, I don't think I have the newest version. I can't tell what version I have, actually. You know what? I'll just keep playing it here. I'll keep playing this one, and then I'll update it, and the next time I play it, it'll be the newer version. Is the death of a ranch worker really such a good thing for the king? Well, as I said, Lon Lon Ranch is a very important supplier of goods, to be sure. But that's not who I meant. Imagine the king wanted to top... I imagine the king wanted to top the top investigators on this job, because it was the royal princess herself who discovered the crime scene. Order! I will have order. Royal Princess Zelda witnessed the crime? And there you have it. A man claiming to get cheap viewers on stream is going to get banned! No! The case rides on the princess's own words. To doubt it would be to doubt your own royalty. This is bad. I can't really object to that. We attempted to ban them at the same time. Very well. If the princess is testifying today, it's better we don't make her needlessly wait. Detective, please testify about exactly why the defendant was arrested. Witness testimony. The reasons for arrest. It is with great regret that I agree with Dragmeyer. All the evidence points towards the girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place inside of the ranch house. There was only 3 people on the ranch: the victim, the defendant, and a worker who has an alibi for the time of the crime. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out onto the floor. Furthermore, she was holding a weapon. Without a doubt, that's what was used to kill the victim. She seems like such a bright girl. It's most unfortunate. Kappa is currently banned in this channel message. That's hilarious. Your Honor, I would like to submit these pieces of evidence to the court. First, I have the autopsy report performed by the Crown's top corner. Can we look at that? Not yet, I guess. There we go. Here is what we determined to be the murder weapon, which we took from the defendant's hand. To make sure we had the correct weapon, we conducted a very thorough investigation. Naturally, we searched everyone and thoroughly examined the ranch and its vicinity. Nothing unusual was found, but to be safe, we also checked the ranch's inventory list to see whether anything was missing. The list matches the items we found on the ranch exactly, and nothing but the saw had fresh blood on it. It does sound quite compelling. This must have been a truly terrifying scene. Alright, let's look at this. Deep irregular wound made with a sharp metal object. Victim died from loss of blood no later than 8 a.m. Supposed murderer, weapon found in Madeleine's hands. Clean of blood. Clean of blood? Why is it cleaned of blood if it was covered in blood? So they had 4 rakes, 4 garden hose, 8 pieces of bucket, 2 hammers, 6 knives, 1 wood saw, 8 saddles, 28 horseshoes, 3 axes, 2 brooms. Guess I can't read the rest of it. When was he dead? Dying from a wound made by a weapon like this is extremely painful. This only helps to prove the defendant's viciousness. Cow nose rings. At this rate, they're gonna paint Malin as some heartless monster. There is one more thing I feel I should mention for the sake of completeness. Shortly after we arrived at the ranch, a courier showed up to take some milk shipments. Of course, business must go on. Is this really necessary to enter into evidence, though? The shipments did end up leaving the ranch, so I feel it bears mentioning. Were the contents checked before you let them go? Naturally. Who do you take us for? Even though the worker handling the shipments did get quite worked up about it, we cracked all the boxes open to check what was inside. In the end, it turned out to only be milk bottles, so we let them through. Very well. Thank you for your thoroughness, Detective. So, what happens now? Now I go see what this is. Left the ranch a little while after the crime. Okay. Oh, this is where I step in and perform a cross-examination. Ah, great. How does that work? Huh? Could you explain what you're doing, what you're going to be doing? Can't hurt going over this again. Sure, why not? The witness will repeat her testimony, and I'll be able to scroll back and forth through the individual statements by pressing A or B, or with the D-pad and the joystick. What's the D-pad and the joystick? Don't worry about it, that's for the player. Who's the player? Link, are you sure you're competent to be a defense attorney? They'll just repeat it as many times as you want? That's right. I have to consider every little detail. Can't miss a thing. If I want more info about something, I can use L or Z to press the statement and ask the witness a question. What's L or Z? Those are buttons that the player can... I'll stop. Drill them for info. Yep. Since the witness has to come up with an answer on the spot, if they're lying, prompting for more info can make them slip up. Most importantly, though, if I find something that doesn't line up with the evidence, I can press R to bring up the court record. The court record is basically a list of all the evidence, right? Yes. I can open it at any time if I need to recheck the facts. After choosing the contradicting items, I'll press up C button to raise an objection and present my doubts to the court. Oh, and I cannot only present evidence, but profiles as well. Profiles? The court record contains a list of all the people involved too. I can switch between evidence and profiles with R. If I need to review what's been said recently, I can also press start to see a history of the messages. Ah, I see. That makes sense. Is the defense done whispering? Sorry. He's so upset about it. Why doesn't he just press right arrow to skip ahead? The defense is ready to cross-examine the witness. A waste of time. I sincerely hope you're not applying the standard court procedure is a waste of time, Mr. Dragmire. In any case, we're ready, defense. Please begin the cross-examination. That makes sense. Does it? Season 4 Red. Those are such good pictures. It's with regret that I agree with Dragmeyer. Who's on the rep profiles right now? Judge. Age. Jolly old man who has presided over some of my cases. Bro, he's 59? Good lord. 34 is not to investigate this case. Alright. Hold it! What makes you think she's the culprit? Objection! She's just about to tell you. Keep quiet and listening. Right. Sorry. Indeed, as I was saying, we determined that the murder definitely took place inside of the ranch house. And just how did you do that? It's quite simple. There was no blood found anywhere else. Has the victim been attacked at some other location? We'd expect a trail of it leading to the scene. Couldn't the killer have just cleaned it all up? Certainly not. The path to the ranch house at Lon Ranch is not paved in any way. Cleaning blood off the ground would be required disturbing the soil. Naturally, we found nothing of the sort. But there would have been enough time to pull that off anyway. Likely true. Right. Sounds like the location of the crime scene is pretty firm. I'm not giving up yet. There are only 3 people on the ranch, the victim, the defendant, and the co-worker who has an alibi for the time of the crime. What's the alibi? 3 people, you say? Guess that would have to be Mr. Ingo. Objection! Let me stop you before you start getting too excited. What's with the fucking knife, Sheik? That's not Sheik, that's Impa, first of all, you uncultured fucking swine. Secondly, yeah, I agree. What's up with the knife? If you had listened to the rest of what the detective have said, you'd notice she mentioned an alibi. Indeed. We're pretty certain that the ranch worker couldn't have been involved. Well, what is the alibi then? You might remember that I brought up some outgoing milk shipments. Well, the worker, Ingo, was in charge of them. He left the ranch house first thing in the morning and was busy preparing the shipments after that. Is that so? Surely he could have gotten away from that for one real quick little murder. Objection! This wouldn't be just a quick little murder, as you so crudely put it. Sorry, brain decided to brain. No, it's good. He'd have taken the steps to hide his involvement, too. There was definitely not enough time for that. Unfortunately, I agree. Preparing a shipment is a lot of work. You have to milk all the cows, clean all the bottles, pour the milk out into them, arrange all of them into crates, finally load it all up onto a wagon. Usually, I have to do it together with Father to finish before the courier arrived. The shipments were already ready when we arrived at the ranch. When we checked the boxes, they were all fully loaded with filled milk bottles. So is this Ingo was able to do the work of 2 people all on his own? Isn't that a little bit odd? Objection! Odd or not, he evidently did just that. Clearly he's a man dedicated to his job. Or perhaps the girl and her father are just very inefficient. This whole thing seems awfully suspicious if you ask me, but I guess I have nothing to dispute it with. Yeah, I was thinking about playing the trilogy today, but I was like, you know what? This sounds a bit more fun to do. Yeah, I'm gonna do this really quick. And crash the crash the window. Cool, awesome, thanks, appreciate that. All right, hold on. Totally legit software, or legit capture software. That got really huge. Hold on. We get to do it again. Well, it apparently saves after every scene, so hopefully we just have to cross-examine again. Okay, where are we at? Please start at the cross-examination. No! Latest is 104. Oh, okay. So I'm 0.02 updates behind. It's fine. It's still playable. I'm not reading all this again. We've gone through it. Speed 1 tactics. I just realized too the medallion of light is on his hammer. Says the testimony? Yeah, testimony. Impa, please stop pulling out your knife. It scares me. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Alright. Hey, look at that. 40 minutes of work summed up into like maybe 2 minutes. We'll do this one again. So I don't think we fully got to the end of this. This whole thing seems absolutely suspicious if you ask me. I guess I have nothing to dispute it with. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out on the floor. Malin fainted? Correct. We couldn't get her to wake up for a long time. Eventually, we had to administer a healing fairy so she could be questioned. I guess finding the body was just that much of a shock, huh? Probably just pretending, trying to make it look like she had merely found the body. In any event... Furthermore, she was holding a weapon, which was no doubt what was used to kill the victim. How can you be so sure of this? look at the autopsy report. Deep, irregular wound made with a sharp metal object. This was the only sharp implement in the ranch house that could produce such a wound. And, as I've already mentioned, we've also looked closely at all other sharp things on the ranch. None had recent blood on them. That still doesn't necessarily mean the saw was the murder weapon. Maybe the real culprit hid the real one. Oh yeah? Prove it then! Show us the real murder weapon. I definitely don't have any way to do that. Still, something bothers me about that song. So, you have nothing? What a waste of time. She sure is. We've known each other for years. Yet she murdered her father in cold blood. How curious. Perhaps you're just bad judges of character, both of you. No way. Just give me some time and I'm going to prove it. You see anything wrong yet? Well, usually it's difficult to find anything wrong with the basic facts of the case. That said, I do think I saw one small thing. The hints are huge. It sure is, because I've got to poke all the holes I can find before the princess gets here. What makes you think she's the culprit? As I was saying... I'm gonna bring up the saw, because if it's cleaned of blood, then... Objection! Huh. It seems like a fairly large oversight. I just want to make sure of something. The state of the saw is currently... Let me try that again. I just want to make sure of something. The state of the saw is currently in... The state the saw is currently in is how you found it at the crime scene? That's correct. That's strange, considering how much the victim bled out and how deep his wound was. Why is there no blood on the supposed murder weapon? Is that all you have? Huh? Naturally, the prosecution has an explanation for why the saw is clean. Behold! This cloth was found in the defendant's other hand. As you can plainly see, it is stained with blood. The defendant simply wiped the murder weapon in a futile attempt to hide her involvement. Objection! If Malin was trying to hide her involvement, why didn't she just leave the crime scene? Bah. Obviously, she was trying to hide the body before the royal visitation arrived at the ranch. Fortunately for her, it just so happened to be the delegation arrived quite a bit earlier than scheduled. In a panic, she quickly wiped the saw off and pretended to faint to make it look like she just stumbled upon the scene. Young lady, things are not looking very good for you. Court accepts the bloodied cloth into evidence. So, what's the story with this cloth? Well, as I was doing a final check around the ranch, I noticed that part of the fence around the horse paddock was damaged. Not entirely sure when that happened, but sometimes one of the horses gets a bit too rowdy, you know? Right. Anyway, I didn't want to bother Mr. Ingoba about it, so I tried to cut up a new rail by myself to patch it up. But the saw slipped and I cut my hand open. Oh my goodness, are you okay? Well, it wasn't that bad. Did bleed quite a lot, though, so I used that cloth to quickly bandage the wound. I was actually going into the ranch house to ask Father to help me with the fence. A likely story. And impossible to verify now, of course. The Sheikah Force had to use a fairy on the defendant to get her out of her supposed unconsciousness. I do have to give her some credit. She is one cunning woman. She knew that would explain a sudden lack of wound on her hand. Why, yes, fairies are quite wonderful. Just the other day, I slammed my hand on the gavel and took the pain off immediately. Great. Glad to know they're used for such important things. But, dang it. Too bad there was no way to tell whose blood is on the cloth. I do believe this matter has been settled. I'm ready to call my next witness. Is that all I can get out of her? You've served your purpose, Sheikah. Be gone! Fine. But you had best treat Her Highness with respect, or I'll see to it that you spend the night in the dungeons. Do not presume to threaten me, Sheikah. A night of darkness and solitude will do nothing but comfort me. Is that so? Then perhaps we should fill the dungeons with the candles for the occasion. The glaring daggers at each other. If this doesn't end soon, we're all in trouble. Order! Order! I'm sure we'll treat the princess with utmost respect. You may step down, detective. And literal daggers in her mind. This case has already proved me weary of Jalma's pointless jabber. The time to right the deal. The time is ripe to deal the final blow. I call Her Highness Princess Zelda of Hyrule to the stand. Is something the matter? Why is everyone quiet all of a sudden? Oh, Your Highness. I believe we're all just a bit uncertain on how to proceed. It is quite the honor to have such an esteemed guest in these halls. Bah! In the face of the law, the princess is no different from a peasant. Name and occupation, now! Prosecution will behave. I will not have any derogatory statements directed at the princess. Derogatory? I simply wish not to waste any more time. We must implore proper procedure. Ganondorf, chill. Oh. It is all right, Detective. I believe the prosecution does have a point. In the eyes of the law, we're all equals. On the stand, I am just another witness. I should not be getting any special treatment. Very admirable, Your Highness. We can all rest easy knowing that Hyrule is destined to have such a wise monarch in its future. Yes, indeed. I eagerly await the day when our next ruler takes the throne and reshapes the kingdom in their image. You flatter me, prosecutor. Now then, I believe I was asked for my name and occupation. I am Zelda, current princess of Hyrule and heir to the apparent to the throne. Of course, Your Highness. Before we begin, I would just like to know, why were you at Lon Ranch to witness this terrible incident? It is simple, really. Lon Ranch is Hyrule Castle's biggest food supplier. Not only that, but the ranch also equips Hyrule Guards with the finest of horses. Every year, the royal family makes a visit as a gesture of goodwill, and to ensure the quality of the steeds. Wow, I didn't know that your horses were used by the Royal Guard. Yep. It is simple, really. I'm the real murderer. We work hard every year to make sure they're in the best possible condition. Father loved to boast about it to the other ranch owners. No one telling, I'm sure he did. How unfortunate that the ranch may no longer meet the Crown's high standards under new management. The royal family has a backup, I trust. We are looking for one. Naturally, those standards are quite high. Yes, of course. Now then, please describe what you saw on the day of the incident. Very well. Here I go. I'm the real murderer. I pardon myself. Farewell. She could do that. She very well could do that. Also, how is stream looking? Because it's I'm getting bad bitrate apparently. Let me check what it looks like. Hold on. One of the good things about playing retro games is that if it looks a little pixelated, you could just say that adds to the charm. Seems fine. Yeah, I mean, it looks fine. I don't know why fucking it's telling me the bitrate's fucked. Interesting. I arrived at Lon Lon Ranch a little after 8 a.m., accompanied by my royal guards. I remember being surprised at how quiet everything was. There was nobody there to welcome us. I could sense that something was wrong. I opened the door to the ranch house and went inside. Look at the autopsy report again. No later than 8 a.m. Deep irregular wound, weighted with a sharp metal object. Victim died from loss of blood no later than 8 a.m. And she just said she visited a little after. So that still tracks. Because she arrived a little after 8, and he died no later than 8. The room was mostly empty. There was a table with some kind of crystal bottle on top of it. But in front of the table, a terrifying scene was unveiling. The defendant hacked at the ranch owner's chest with the saw she was holding. I was overcome with fear and I screamed. I'll never forget what I saw that day. I heard that Talon and his daughter were incredibly kind. I could not believe she would commit such a horrible violence. What? Oh, you saw the very moment the victim was killed. Okay, yeah, no, Zelda's immediately lying. There you go. Decisive testimony. As there is no need to tell the princess's statements, I call for the judge to make a ruling right away. Objection. Hey now, hold on. I didn't get to cross-examine the witness yet. You haven't, fool, because there's no need. Did you not hear one word of what I said? I'll speak plainly for you. Streamer Silent Hero 47 has to run some ads. So you will be patient and let him run ads. And we'll be back in 3 minutes. Huh. Silent Hero 47's Streamer Silent Hero 47's community's back. That means that I can proceed with my case as Ganondorf Dragmaya, prosecutor of Hyrule. Considering her position on this charity, I'd imagine she would do. Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. For those of you who missed, Iron Mouse apparently has now hit 1 million on her fundraiser thing for immune deficient charity, which is, I believe, the same charity that she was supposed to originally send the money to through V Studio, but V Studio never did that because they're a bunch of assholes. So yeah. Anywho, you haven't, fool, because there's no need. Did you not hear one word of what I said? V Shoujo, yeah. Did I say a different thing? Did you just say we should follow all the procedures and treat the princess like any other witness? Man, I don't remember this part of Ocarina of Time. This is the defense's right. You complete. Oh, I said V Studio? Yeah, no, different things. V Shoujo. Yeah, fuck V Shoujo. I believe the defense has a point. They do have every right to perform a cross-examination, no matter who is testifying. I was quite looking forward to this part myself. I've only ever read about court proceedings in the Royal Library. That being said, I will not tolerate any reckless accusations toward the princess. Is that clear? Naturally, Your Honor. How am I going to cross-examine the princess? This isn't going to end well. It's gotten into the prosecutor. That seemed like a rather intense outburst. Well, I do have a guess. Oh? Because of the princess's status, it's possible that Dragmire didn't have an opportunity to discuss her testimony with her. That might mean that the testimony is even a surprise to him. This could be... excuse me. This could be my chance. Before we begin, there is just one thing that caught my attention. I believe the princess mentioned seeing some kind of glass bottle at the crime scene. That would be this, I presume. Why, yes, that is exactly it. What is that? Oh, this is a bottle of perfume that Father intended to give to Her Highness when she arrived. He quickly rode out to town to get it at the last moment. We didn't know that the princess was coming instead of the king only about 2 hours before the visitation. Oh, how thoughtful. He really did not need to bother himself so. As fascinating as this all is, the prosecution doesn't believe it's relevant to the case. Objection! It's good to have a full picture of the crime scene. The defense requests the bottle be accepted into evidence. Desperate to latch on every little thing, are you? Whatever. You can add it to the evidence if it will make you happy. No skin off my teeth. You don't have teeth on your skin on your teeth. I have skin on my teeth because I'm a Gerudo. Gerudo are better. In that case, the court subjects this bottle into evidence. We created the faces of Phoenix Wright games. Yeah, no, so this is essentially, this is essentially a Phoenix Wright Zelda. And, Cody showed it to me, and I was like, this actually looks pretty fun. And I love Phoenix Wright. Like, I haven't played a lot of them, because I'd never had the opportunity to play him. But I played a little bit of the first one, but didn't get to beat it. Something, Chekhov's gun. Now the defense, begin your cross-examination. The scene behind the door. I arrived at Long Ranch a little after 8, accompanied by my loyal guards. If these guards were with Her Highness, why were they not called as witnesses? We did question the guards, naturally. If you still have my Striding Until Dawn family share, I have the intro. Yeah, so does Cody. Apparently, they didn't get to see anything relevant. I was the only one to enter the crime scene. After seeing what was inside, I stood guard inside and insisted that no one be allowed in until the Shiga force arrived. I have read that preserving the scene is vital. Quite correct. I'm sure the guards were absolutely thrilled with this. Please proceed, witness. I remember being surprised at how quiet everything was. There was nobody there to welcome us. Have you conducted these royal visitations in the past, Your Honor? No, this was my first one. Up until last year, my father was always the one to visit Lon Ranch. However, he decided I had to start preparing for all the royal duties that await me, and so I was to do it this time. You will doubtlessly perform admirably as ruler when the time comes. What happened when you got to the ranch house? I could sense that something was wrong. I opened the door to the ranch and the house and went inside. And what then? Stop interrupting and let her get to the point. Defense, I believe I was clear about not badgering the witness. Calm down. The room was mostly empty. There was some kind of crystal bottle or something in it. You paid attention to something like that after seeing a murder princess? Well, I spent a rather long time in there waiting for the Sheikah Force to arrive. Plus, that bottle was quite beautiful. It just stood out. In front of the table, a terrifying scene was unraveled. The defendant hacked at the ranch's owner's chest with a saw she was holding. You were there at the exact time of the murder, Your Highness? That is correct. That's impossible! You're lying! And it will curb her outburst. You're addressing royalty. Royalty. I almost did the wrong voice. Just grab one now. Where were the victim and the defendant at this time? The ranch owner was in front of a little table that was directly across from the entrance door. The defendant was right in front of him and quickly fainted after her attack. A large pool of blood started forming where the victim was. I had a rather good view of the whole scene. Right. As unfortunate as it is fortunate that you could see the whole thing in such detail. Now, please continue. Should I ask something else? Are you sure there wasn't anyone else at the ranch, Your Highness? No, the place looked empty. Although I did later see a worker pull up a loaded wagon, and a courier came asking about milk shipments. Plus a little bit of a scene when the Sheikah Force started inspecting it. That worker must have been somewhere else on the ranch, I suppose. The ranch is pretty large. Said worker was inside a building on the other side. It is quite understandable she wouldn't have seen him until later. This isn't really giving me a whole lot to work with. I was overcome with fear was named. I'll never forget what I saw that day. Here at that time on Saturn incredibly. Alright, well, we already know what a contradiction is. Little after 8? That's funny, because the autopsy said he died no later than 8. Objection! Your Honor, Your Highness, I believe I found something that doesn't quite match up with the facts. How dare you question the princess? This is... You will let the defense speak, prosecutor. I think I see why you so desperately wanted to prevent this cross-examination now. Your Highness, you stated that you arrived on the ranch shortly after 8 a.m. Is this correct? Yes, the schedule was Yeah. Okay, hold on. Yes, the visit was scheduled for 8:30 exactly, but we were quite a bit early. I see. That makes something you mentioned quite impossible. As stated by the autopsy report, the victim definitely died before 8 a.m. You couldn't have seen the defendant attack the ranch owner when you arrived. Judge is like 10 times more competent than the one in Phoenix Wright. Because the victim was already dead by then. Order, order. Yes, you've really caught her in a lie. Highness, what is the meaning of this? Well, I was wholeheartedly respected to serve the crown. Nonetheless, not tolerate lies in my court. I have not lied. I just... Okay, Cody has redeemed a minute drawing of Edgeworth. Give me 1 second. Let me get a, let me get paint open. Give me 1 second. And for those of you who know me, I'm not very good Don't I have Paint 3D or something? Prism. Was it called something else? He's really not. So Talon was killed. There we go. Paint. Here we go. Okay. So I got Paint open. Let me get it captured on here. I've seen the Zelda drawing. Okay, hold on. Window capture. Paint. There it is. Alright. And let's lower that to here. Alright. Here's the Kakus or whatever they're called. Alright, hold on. Let me get another timer up here as well. I also need to find a sound that does an alert for that. Alright, hold on. And then we need to bring up another timer or another window capture. I vote for Yoshida sound. I have no idea what a Yoshida is. Oh, Yoshi. Okay. Yeah, I know who Yoshi is. It corrected me. Freaking autocorrect, man. Alright. I'll put it here. And then... how do I... Okay. Minute and 1 seconds, just so that it gives me that extra second to start the timer or whatever. Alright, and again, we're doing Edgeworth. So... here we go. Alright, so I know he has like a weird kind of like... kind of a weird face like this. His hair was like kind of split up into bangs, if I remember correctly. It was like kind of like this. And I believe it was gray. We'll fill that in. And I don't remember what his eyes looked like. I think his eyes were here-ish. Oh, we need black. Oh god, maybe I should have given myself a bit more time. And then he had like a foofle thing. And it was like a red suit. Maybe I'll give myself a bit longer. But yeah, that's there we go. That's that. I might make it a bit longer. A minute seems too fast. You know, that's not bad. Okay, hold on. Miles Edgeworth. I wasn't too far off. Like, I wasn't that far off. I like I said, I remembered the poofy like ripple shirt, and I remembered the red suit. I was close. I don't even know who that is. This is the first prosecutor in the Ace Attorney games. Is the first prosecutor you fight for almost the entirety of the first game. Let me make a new group really quick. And then put the timer in there, put it in there, put the timer above the paint, and boom. Okay. That is... He's the first main one. There's also a tutorial prosecutor. No, it was Miles in the first one, wasn't it? But yeah, that's Edgeworth. That's Edgeworth. Oh my god, that is... I might give myself a little bit more time, because I spent a lot of time thinking there. Oh yeah, there's Edgeworth. I have not lied. I suppose I do not see the exact moment it happened. I guess I only thought I did. Princess, this is a matter of life and death. I definitely saw the defendant there, though, along with the body. First prosecution is Winston Payne. Oh, was he the old dude? Was he like the old dude? Okay. That's probably why I don't remember him, because that first case was kind of like a very, this is how you play the game. There's no one else who could have done it. I remember all the other details correctly. The body's on the floor, the pool of blood. You have to believe me. Absolutely best if Her Highness revises her testimony. That's not good. Still not enough doubt to overturn this testimony. Have to find something else, or this case will be over. I'm sorry for embellishing the truth a little bit. I did not see the actual moment of the attack, but it had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house. Miss Malin and her father were the only ones at the scene of the crime, so she must be the culprit. Oh, that's a very short testimony. Jesus. I see. You only saw the aftermath of the scene, but not the actual crime being committed. Very well. Hopefully there are no issues in your testimony this time. Defense, it is time for your cross-examination. Naturally, Your Honor. Jack Meyer still looks pretty angry. Bet he didn't expect such a blatant contradiction to pop up. If I could just find another one like that, the princess's testimony would be completely untrustworthy in the eyes of the judge. He's the first one in, I think, every game, then 100% on Trials and Tribulations, as I haven't finished Justice for All. It's okay. I never finished the first one. I always got stuck on the fucking one where Miles is being accused of murder. Spoiler, by the way, for the first game. That came out in, like, 05. Spoiler for a 20-year-old game, essentially. Why did you do that, Your Highness? There's a life on the line here. I really am sorry. I suppose I got too big excited about being a witness in an actual murder trial. One with a bird, they happen to testify. Jason Payne is the one for Dual Destinies. Really? Most people hate testifying. Yes, well, the life of a princess is rather boring, you know. It's quite a break from the routine for me. Should just get a hobby then. I did not see the actual moment of attack. In that case, it can't be coincidentally proven that the defendant did it. Objection. Defense, did you exhaust your singular brain cell on that last contradiction you found? Those are Death Mountain's worth of evidence pointing to the defense. Defendant. Just because no one saw the actual moment of the crime doesn't mean anyone else could have done it. think you're making a death mountain out of a death molehill. What, brain cell? But it had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house. No, because it definitely said he died no later than 8. How can you be so sure of that, princess? Well, when I entered the ranch house, the victim still had the murder weapon embedded into his body. Hold the phone. Found in Malin's hands. Yep, she's lying again. Goddamn, princess. What? It is obvious what that means, is it not? The killer did not even have enough time to try to hide the weapon. Yes, I might not have seen the murder firsthand, but I must have been very close to doing so. Oh my, it seems like a very important detail. I think it would be advisable for Her Highness to amend her testimony. Certainly, Your Honor. Interesting. Dragmire certainly doesn't look very happy about this development, does he? Thinking about it, I might just know why. Objection! I believe I found another reason to doubt the witness's words. No. It seems the prosecution sees what I'm getting at here. There was a bloody cloth discovered at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has argued before that it was used to wipe the saw clean. If the princess saw the saw lodged into Talon's body, and the crime scene was left intact, then it couldn't have been wiped! Well, Prosecutor Dragmire, care to explain? This is most perplexing. Highness, are you sure that's what you saw? Hey. Objection! Well, the princess decided to pull the saw out in a valiant yet futile attempt to save the victim. And then wipe the blade clean. It will be almost like framing the defendant. Of course, I did no such thing. I made sure the crime scene stayed intact. I guess I must have made up the memory about the saw sticking out of Mr. Tappan as well. You idiotic girl! Do you even realize what you've done through your bumbling? I'm sorry. I was just so excited to stand as a witness in a court just this once. Whenever I try telling my father about anything, he seems so disinterested. Just this once, I wanted to feel listened to. The defendant, it is clear that she did it. Oh, crap. I need to... Hold on. The defendant, it is clear that she did it. I just wanted to play a larger part in her capture. I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused you all.
Oh my god, is that fucking Prime? Chat, I think that's a fucking Prime.
Dresden
Holy
with
shit.
the Prime sub for 15 months. Ripped my streak? What do you mean your streak? You've been subbed for 15 months. It's crazy. It's a 1 month streak. Oh. Oh well, I mean, it's still you've still been subbed for a good while. Your Highness, court is no place for silly games. Better check your boxers. No forever streak now. It's fun. It's definitely Phoenix Wright, but it's just skinned over with Zelda characters. And it's pretty enjoyable so far. Ganon is the prosecutor right now, which was hilarious to me. As it stands, I'm afraid we will have to strike your statements from the court record completely. Yes, did it. Prosecution lost her key witness. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I also like Phoenix Wright. No, please wait, I have more to say. I was wrong about the crime scene, but I still have not testified about what I saw afterwards. To get the bonking stick, strike the record out of their heads. Use the forget me stick. Bah. Why would we care about that? It's best that you leave and stop damaging my case with your idiocy. Even if you're not interested in my words, you might be interested in the evidence I found. What? Huh? Evidence? Of course. While the Sheikah Force investigated the inside of the ranch house, I looked around the rest of the ranch on my own. Sheikah? Did you know about this? Time to get... Of course I did. You did? I'll have your head for this. Order? Order. What is the meaning of this, detective? Why would you withhold this from the court? It's quite simple. The princess specifically requested to present her finding on her own. What? And you agreed to this? This court is not the same playground where children decide what evidence should be presented just because they have a crowd. He's being rude about it, but I can't help but agree with Dragmar on this one. Also, I don't really buy this story. There's no way input would have allowed this. Believe me, I wasn't thrilled with the request either. However, after seeing the evidence in question, I didn't think it would be at all important to the case. Aww. Thus, I let the princess have her fun. This is highly irregular. I'm not sure how to feel about this. Prosecutor? Bah. Naturally, I object to this nonsense. If the detective thinks it's irrelevant, then this is probably just a waste of time. All the evidence points to the defendant, and it's still clear she did it even without a witness at the scene. I see. Defense? What do we do? If we object to the presenting evidence, then Dragmar loses his key witness. Plus, whatever the princess presents could be bad for our case too. So we should agree with the prosecution? Well, on the other hand, we don't really have much to go on. This could be our only lead left. Well, don't keep us waiting. Surely, you won't throw away all the progress you've made thus far. What do I do? No, let's request it. I really hope this is the right choice. The defense requests that the evidence be presented. What? While I agree that the situation is irregular, we should still examine all evidence available. It would be silly to dismiss it as irrelevant without even seeing what it is. I do believe you have a point, defense. However, I must warn you, in order to admit this piece of evidence into the court record, Princess's statements that she found it must be admitted as testimony, along with everything else she might say. Yes, Your Honor, I am well aware. The defense wishes to give the princess just one more chance. All the idiotic, foolish... Order? Very well, then. Your Highness, please testify once more about the new piece of evidence you found during your investigation. Thank you. I will not let you down this time, I promise. The princess should understand the gravity of the situation at hand now. I just hope this new evidence isn't damaging to our case. I know you proved it, and it couldn't be the defendant, but because he couldn't become up with someone else who could have done it, guilty. I wish to express my heartfelt apologies for my mistake in the earlier testimony. On entering the ranch house, I saw the defendant passed out in front of the victim, who was bleeding out. I stood guard at the entrance ranch house until the Shiika force arrived. Once the Shiika started investigating the crime scene, I decided to take a look around the ranch. While I was walking near the silo, I noticed a strong odor in the air. I had to stop to see where it was coming from. I followed the scent and found a burned out fire nearby and a small, nearly empty bottle of lamp oil. I, of course, took the bottle straight to the head detective. That's a pretty huge piece of evidence. And here it is. The oil bottle I found. Is something wrong? Oh no, this might actually be completely irrelevant. Yes, well, of course there is, foolish girl. This has nothing to do with anything. Great finding is some random fire on a ranch. Please. What next? Are you going to declare every rake on the premise suspicious? Well, the prosecution will calm down. This is bad. Your Honor, despite the fact that this evidence might not seem to add anything at the moment, the defense still asserts its right to a cross-examination. Some straws have been grasped. Why must you insist on a charade, defense? The princess has merely recounted the same view of the crime scene as the head detective. You haven't been able to find any contradictions in her statement. Believe there might be a way to tie the princess's new evidence into the case? Ridiculous! Regardless of what the prosecution thinks, the defense does have a right to a cross-examination. The court admits the oil bottle into evidence. I just really hope this isn't a complete waste of time, defense. For both your own sake and your clients. I do like the fact that the gavel is the light medallion. Yeah, I said that earlier too. Hold it. Objection. There's no need to press the princess on her apology. You already wasted the chance to throw out her testimony. Mr. Defense, please get to the point. Thanks. Upon entering the ranch house, I saw the defendant passed out. The victim who was bleeding out. I stood guard at the entrance to the house and waited until the Shiika force arrived. Did anything happen during that time? No, not that I recall. The guards did occasionally protest my test and ask me to leave, let them take over, but I held my stance. While commendable in theory, staying in the same room as a dangerous killer isn't very wise. What if she woke up and lashed out at you? We'd highly up above. That thought did not occur to me. But, of course not. Foolish girl. But the guards did stand close by. I would have been safe. Wonderful to see how much faith our princess has in our royal guard. Yes, of course I do. In any case... Once the Shiika started visiting me crazy, he started taking a look around the ranch. He didn't just go home? The royal visitation was supposed to last a lot longer. Father was not expecting us back at the castle until much later. He came to the ranch to examine the horses, so I suppose I could at least do that in the meantime. How long did it take the Shiika to arrive at the scene? It does not take very long to make the trip from Hyrule Castle Town to Longmont Ranch. I cannot imagine it was more than 20 minutes. It is pretty fast. Although I did imagine the fact that the princess was involved to help speed it up. Slow pokes, I would have been there in half that time, running backwards even. I suppose it is no surprise, though. Highlands horses are naturally inferior to our fine Gerudo steeds. The Gerudo buy horses from our ranch too. You just don't bother. I'm trying to rally you. While I was walking near the silo, I noticed a strong odor in the air and had to stop to see where it was coming from. What was the smell like? Oh, it was awful. A really terrible stench. Or it just flashed that Mailman Ganondorf comic in my head. Surely you don't mean to say that you found the smell of horse manure suspicious. Don't be ridiculous. The smell was not coming from the horses. I followed the scent and found a burned out fire nearby and a small, nearly empty bottle of lamp oil. Fire, huh? Now let me remind you, Defense, that there's any number of reasons why a fire could have been. You could still feel the cold grasp of death early in the morning. Princess, how long would you estimate the fire had been out before you found it? Right. There was still smoke rising out of the ashes, so it must have been put out recently. So around the time of the crime. So someone prepared their breakfast there. I repeat, this fire is irrelevant. I think he's realized the same thing I did. Well, who was it? Who could have lit the fire anyway? It would have been the ranch worker who was putting the milk shipments together at the time. It was almost certainly him. If you really want to ask about this little barbecue, you might just get your wish soon. Doesn't sound like it was very appetizing. Without anything concrete to pin him, she'll be able to brush it off. I took the bottle, slid straight to the head detective. Right, and she allowed you to present it. Well, I was the one to find it, and since I was going to the trial anyway... Utter ridiculousness. Yes. Please make this the last time you do something like this, Your Highness. Proper procedure exists for a reason. Yes, I understand. Do you have any idea why there would have been a fire at the ranch that day? Oh, it is pretty odd. It sounds like it's definitely worth looking into. Though it'll be hard to link it to the crime in any way. Situations like this, getting as much info as possible is my best bet. Was there anything else in the room? Only the beautiful little crystal bottle I mentioned before. The house was rather barren. Most of her things are on the top floor since the downstairs wing is mostly used for ranch business these days. And the occasional game. Of course. Dad's famous cuckoo game. The good old days. Yeah. Is the defense done reminiscing? There will be plenty of time to do that when the defendant is behind bars. I was just trying to distract myself. In fact, there's nothing to latch on to here. Defense, I believe that is enough. It doesn't seem like you're getting any closer to finding a connection between this fire and the crime at all. Oh, I suppose not, Your Honor. Naturally. I've said this was a waste of time from the beginning. In that case, the cross-examination is over. Thank you for your time, Your Highness. I assume you have no more revelations to share with us? No, I do not. I really thought the fire would be important. Leave my sight! Enough. Highness, if you'll allow me to ask you back to Hyrule Castle. Very well. Now that the princess's little game is over, we should move this along. The prosecution's stance is still the same, of course. We maintain that the evidence is on its own enough to convict the defendant. Who believes believe I am nearly ready to hand down my verdict. But, Your Honor, there's nothing that definitely shows that Malin committed the crime. This is all circumstantial. There's no way she could kill her own father. Ah, that is an excellent point, defense. The prosecution has yet to elaborate on the defendant's motive. Oh my god. What is that supposed to say? Protocol? Practicide is not... Practicide is not something a person commits lightly. I did briefly touch on the subject during my opening statement. But naturally, the prosecution is fully prepared to elaborate on the matter. I would like to call in my third witness. That has to be the ranch worker. Patricide is the killing of a parent. Ah, patricide. Before calling him in, though, the prosecution requests a brief recess to prepare. I thought you said you were already prepared. Maybe he wants to double-check that his new witness won't pull anything weird like the princess did. Very well, I do believe a break would benefit us all. Court will reconvene after a 15-minute recess. Court is adjourned. It's not going all that well, is it? I did start the timer for ad break. We have 17 minutes left. Oh, I think that went about as well as it could have, actually, given the circumstances. We exposed the worst of the princess's testimony as untrue. I can't believe she just makes stuff up like that. Yeah, that was surprising. Still, the issue is that we didn't manage to shake the core of the argument. If only there wasn't anyone else in the house. And patricide is specifically the father, the mother is matricide, like a kingdom is a patriarchy, and a queendom is a matriarchy. Yeah, that's fair. Now, there's no need to look so alone. But, detective, aren't you supposed to be escorting the princess back? Marriage is being protected. I thought I'd drop by in the meantime. You've really managed to make Dragmire furious, you know. I have? If you listen carefully, you just might be able to hear him ranting over in the prosecutor's lobby. He's really giving his upcoming witness a grilling. Expect him to try to shut you down as fast as he can. Oh, that would be worrying if I had anything he could shut down in the first place, I guess. But you do? What do you mean? Oh, come on. Talking about the princess's grand discovery, of course. Fire? I wasn't able to do anything with that. Really think it's relevant? Don't get me wrong, at present I'm convinced the girl did it. But the knife, please. We investigated and came to this conclusion for a reason. But I am willing to explore every possibility. Fire is definitely a bit strange, and I dare say it may be your only way out. If I may be so bold, I think you should precedent with next witness on that topic. As the only other person working on the ranch at the time, he is the only one who could have lit that fire. He is hiding something I think the court deserves to know. Thing is, the next testimony is about the motive. It's going to be difficult to bring up the fire again without Dragmire objecting. You'll have to make it work. As much as I don't like it, she's right. There isn't a whole lot else to go on here. It's Mr. Ingo. Well, thank you. Don't mention it. One last thing. You, ranch girl. Me? Try not to hold that testimony against the princess. Believe me, I'm sure she was acting with the best intentions in mind. You know the road to the Dark Realm is paved with those, right? Perhaps. It was definitely a serious lapse of judgment, one she will live to regret. Part of this comes from the fact that she's rather sheltered and inexperienced. After the sudden death of her older sister last year, she was thrust into the role of her heir very suddenly. Interesting. Zelda has a sister. That's right. The mysterious death of the firstborn Princess Zelda. Hyrule still grieves after the events of that day. Can't wait for the princess to die. And yet no one knows exactly what happened. In the void of information, conspiracy theories ran amok. People blaming the royal guard, the Sheikah, even the king himself. The princess will soon have a whole kingdom's worth of troubles on her shoulders. For a kingdom with a history as turbulent as ours, it's a lot to handle. The princess's conduct today possibly won't help the distrust that some people have with the crown right now, though. She's wise beyond her years. She will learn and she will be better. I simply ask that you don't think of her as an enemy, whatever comes of this charm. She does not need more than she already has. Imagine if they port Midna into this game. Wow, she's so intense. I never expected to see Impa get so emotional. I guess all this is why she decided to take the blame for the princess's impromptu investigation. Why she won't put away that fucking knife. Detective Impa. Man, Princess Zelda died. Good thing the younger Princess Zelda can take her place. What is it, soldier? I'm quite busy at the moment, so please be quick. But like true form, Midna. The investigator team back at the ranch just sent word of new development. Something about a milk shipment being returned to the ranch because of a wrong recipient address. They're asking you to come over to see it. Oh, those idiots. Don't have time for this. Send someone else. I have to escort the princess to her castle. Roger. That did remind me, though. I took this bottle of milk from a couple of guards who were slacking on the job earlier. She is beautiful. True form Midna is so pretty. Here, ranch girl. Perhaps it'll calm your nerves somewhat. Not to worry, it's still unopened. Oh, thank you. That's nice of her. Too bad for those guards, though. Now then, I believe the princess's carriage should be prepared by now. If you'll excuse me. I think I'm so nervous right now. Milk has just lost its flavor. Huh? Lost its flavor? Walnut milk is always so tasty. Are you sure it's just nerves? And then you find a fucking knife in the bottle. Yeah, the saw's in the bottle. Let me try some. Huh. You're right. I assume this would have come from one of yesterday's shipments. Probably, with the investigation at the ranch. There wouldn't have been any today, so... Maybe it just isn't fresh? No, I don't think so. It doesn't really taste as if it's gone bad. Also, the guard said that one of yesterday's shipments was misaddressed, didn't he? And this was all handled by Ingo, wasn't it? I think there's something odd going on. Try to make some notes about this in the court record. Defense, the court is about to reconvene. Escort your client back to the courtroom at once. So it comes down to this. The conclusion's approaching. Time to turn this situation around. Court is back in session for the trial of Malin of Lon Lon Ranch. I trust that the prosecution's final witness is ready. Naturally, I have personally seen to it this time that there will be no foolishness in this time around. Why does the guard look like James Charles? Hopefully his ears are intact. As we discussed before the recess, having established the opportunity and means for the defendant to have committed the murder, only one matter remains. With Ace Attorney, you have to consider literally any possibility because the game is so batshit insane. The matter of motive, for naturally, such a heinous crime couldn't be the result of mere happenstance. The prosecution believes the defendant had a deep desire that pushed her to patricide. Our next witness can shed light on the matter. Fascinating. Very fascinating. Well, please proceed. The prosecution calls the branch worker Ingo to the stand. As QB Zilla requests a Silent Hero 47 to do a posture check. And then Cody requests him to do a hydration.
Water and water and water, water and water and water, water, water and water and water, water, water and water and water, water.
I might actually need to grab more tea here in a second. And there's the stretch. Oh, stretching hurts a lot more since I'm sunburned on my arms. Oh. It's funny to see Mr. Ingo in such fancy clothes. Oh? Yeah, he almost always just wears his work dungarees. It's almost like he's looking at a different person. Oh, I guess he wanted to dress up for court, and he wouldn't want to get this nice outfit dirty by working in it. My English didn't English. Witness. Wait, what did he say before? Quiet defense. Witness, state your name and occupation. Your Honor, great honorable prosecutor. My name is Ingo. I mind Lon Lon Ranch. Fine. What does that entail exactly? I'm mostly there to work on structures and equipment. The owner and his daughter are the ones who tend to the animals and take care of orders. How long have you been working at the ranch? It'll be 7 years at this point. There have been others who came and went, but I and Go have preserved through all the hardships. Sounds like he wants the medal for it. Oh, he does get a bit pompous at times, but Mr. Ingo really is a great help. He built the ranch's silo single-handedly. Whoa, that's some dedication. Very well. Given that you're clearly an important employee, you're privy to some inside information, is that correct? Yes, the ranch owner shared all the big plans with me. He trusted me implicitly. I think that's a word. He used to say that we're like a big family. Sounds lovely. It sounds like a red flag that you're going to be getting loads of unpaid overtime. Evidently, not every member of your so-called family felt the same way, though, did they? It hurts to do this, but I have no choice. Hear my story, honorable court of law. Just a couple days ago, the owner Talon pretty much partially signed the ranch over to his daughter, Malin. Talon became a lieutenant, and with Malin meant to inherit all the assets after his death. As long as Talon lived, Malin could not sell the ranch. It's simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership and leave the Diggy Ranch life behind. It's appalling how ungrateful she is after all Talon did for her. And there you have it. Testimony from a man who just lost everything. It's truly tragic to witness yet another family torn apart by greed. We have evidence. We have the defendant caught red-handed at the scene of the crime. Now we have a motive. Objection! How do we know he's telling the truth? Blech. I have, of course, verified the witness's testimony. As per the law, all inheritance documents must be filed at the Castletown Notary Office to be considered valid. I saw fit to prepare this for the trial. The prosecution would like to submit the Lon Lon Ranch inheritance document into evidence. All I can think of, we have Luigi at home. Luigi at home. Mr. Ingo, why would you? You should pass judgment now, Judge. The defense has nothing. Objection! I would like to cross-examine the witness. There are a few more details I feel are relevant. But of course, ask whatever you'd like. I, the hard-working Ingo, can handle it. Very well, defense. Please begin. Just a couple days ago, the owner Talon partially signed the ranch over to his daughter Malin. How long ago was this exactly? 3, 4 days? I'm not sure of the exact date. Had it been planned for a long time? Talon was getting on in years. It's better to take care of the manor sooner rather than later. Talon? He is telling the truth. Father scheduled a visit to the notary office about a week ago. What do you mean by partly, witness? Talon became a lieutenant with Malin, meant to inherit all the assets after his death. So Malin hadn't become the ranch owner. Of course not. Haven't you heard all the stories making rounds recently? So many ungrateful brats throwing their old folks into retirement homes the moment the ownership's signed to them. Talon was no fool. I myself convinced him that it was the safer option. If the girl was up to some, chicanery, he could always revert his decision. That's horrible. I'd never do that. As much as I wanted to believe that, you did much worse by killing him. Children these days, you feed them, you raise them, and they pull a stunt like this as soon as you give them an inch over yourself. I must concur, the younger generation is horrible. Why does he look at me while saying that? Anyway, what that was. As long as Talon lived, Malin could not sell the ranch. Well, why would Malin want to sell the ranch right now? Why wouldn't she want to? Why would a pretty little girl like her want to work on some dingy ranch? She'd have it much better if she sold the old place and used the money to move it to Castletown. That's not true. I love working with the animals. I wouldn't leave them for anything. What? She's often slacking on the job where I'm the hard-working Ingo I have to cover for her. Guess the deacon nut doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say. That Talon loves to sleep on the job, too. I do recall quite a funny story about the Lon Lon Ranch owner blocking the side entrance to High Castle for an entire day. Guards couldn't wake him up. It took a particularly vocal cuckoo, apparently. Ah, jeez. Well, there you go. I'm the real reason why the ranch has such renown. Me, the hard-working Ingo. I think that's not true at all. I know. But how do I stop this? It's simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon, get full ownership, and then leave the dingy ranch behind. What is that? I'm still trying to figure out what to do at this point. But, hey, Ingo, is there anything you want to say to the current audience right now? Why, yes. Looks like Silent Hero has to run some ads. So let's go run some ads. Yeah, you couldn't have said it better myself, man. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Figured out the case. The blood on the saw while the talons but a Kokus. He hit them too much and attacked the... and the attacks like usual. Nothing stopping until he was deceased. Well, here's the thing. The saw is clean of blood. There was this, supposedly, found clenched by Mallet at the crime scene. Supposedly she wiped the saw clean with this. The perfume bottle for the princess. Hold on. Apparently, I guess. Axel, do you need to go outside? Do you need to go potty? Okay, then why didn't you go out when I opened the door? Let's go outside. Let's go potty. Ever notice that Ingo sounds like Pearson? Listen, I can't do that many voices. There's no way to know if it's human blood because this is like fantasy medieval. And yeah, Malin did say that she cut her hand. Hold it. Do you really think Malin would go that far? I don't want to think it, but clearly the events speak for themselves, don't they? Why would she just wait a few more years then? Talon was getting older. Perhaps she knew more and more work would be piled onto her. But really, how am I supposed to know? It's Kurt. Ugh, that's alright. Well, if Malin didn't want to work, wouldn't she have done this earlier? As Talon's only child, she'd still inherit the ranch. That's where you're wrong. I'm old. For a long while, Talon planned to split the ranch between the girl and the crown. He was a patriotic man. He knew how much those horses meant to the royal gods. I wish he hadn't changed his mind now. Malin wouldn't inherit the ranch if she's unable to divide the deed between the crown and the remaining employees. This is true. Yes, father's previous inheritance document worked that way. How admirable. I guess the familial bonds won over his drive to help the kingdom. Truly a shame. Yes, naturally the girl wanted the whole thing, so she bided her time. I think this sufficiently explains the timing. Let's continue, shall we? Objection. Wait just a moment. There's one more problem with the timing that I'd like to witness to explain. Why would Malin have planned the murder for the day of the royal visitation specifically? More people are around means more witnesses. You'd think she would have chosen any other day. Oh, did I forget to mention this? I overheard Talon arguing with her that very morning. He was telling her he changed his mind again. He was planning to tell the king that he'd be signing the ranch over to the crown. After the visitation was over, he headed to Castletown to change the inheritance back to the original split. What? Despite the victim's wishy-washiness, it does appear he did make the right choice in the end. Because of that choice, if the defendant wanted to get the ranch, she had no time to waste that day. The employees would have a reason to frame her and inherit the ranch. Yep. Is this true too? Absolutely not. Fathers wasn't planning to do that, and there was no argument either. What to do about this argument, then? Add it to the testimony. There was an argument about the inheritance? That sounds like an important fact to me. The defense requested it be added to the testimony. Very well, witness, please do so.
I'd be happy to, Your Honor. I overheard them arguing about the inheritance that morning. It's all appalling how ungrateful she is after all Talon did for her.
I feel like the picture might come into play here. Because that as grainy as it looks, that is one happy family. He's not giving a lot to try to do anything with, though. Apparently one of the midshipmen was returned to the ranch due to being misaddressed. Need to push it? Yeah, I think I need to push that. About what time did this happen?
First thing in the morning, I was heading out to the silo to start the day's work. I just walked out the front door of the ranch house when I heard some yelling up behind me.
Preston New State. Yeah, that's one thing. That's probably, yeah.
I heard some yelling up behind me.
Do you remember any specifics about what was said?
Oh yes, this surprised me enough that I stopped to listen for a minute. It was all like, I'm really sorry about it. The most important thing is to make sure the king always has a steady supply of quality horses. What about me, Father? How could you do this to me? Well, this isn't just about you. It's for the good of the entire kingdom. But what am I supposed to do? I can't make good life. I'm stuck on this dump of a ranch forever. I thought you loved the ranch and all animal.
God, this is gonna murder my voice.
I thought you loved the ranch. All the animals are here, and then goes always around to help with the chores too. He's pretty great, isn't he? Yeah.
This is definitely some shit he made up on the spot.
Yeah, there ain't no answer, but I'm tired of paying for this. It's over.
What a stirring reenactment. I will keep my thoughts on the witness's acting skills to myself. There's no way this actually happened, though. Malin would never want to sell the ranch.
Objection. Well, of course she'd say that now, you buffoon. Remember, she says there's suspicion for murder. We can't just a thing she says.
Well, I trust her. If he didn't throw in the part about himself, I could believe it. Well, I mean, just based off the profiles alone, never mind, that's not helping anything. The judge probably doesn't right now, and that's unfortunately what matters. Do you have anything in the court records that could refute this story?
If you ask me, this whole inheritance issue could have been avoided if the crown wasn't so soft. In Gerudo Desert, there would be no question that the fortress may seize whatever it decides.
That's just messed up.
No matter. Continue your testimony, farmhand. Share with us the true nature of the defendant.
I can present profiles too, but I don't know. I feel like the pictograph's gonna hold.
Ha! I've got you now. What?
I knew a simple ranch worker couldn't concoct a flawless story. I've just found a gaping hole in it. I've definitely fucked up here. Link, what are you implying? Ranch workers are stupid? That's not what I meant.
On the other hand, certain attorneys definitely are, since winner you just presented is entirely meaningless.
Shit. Oh, sure, just gang up on me. Maybe I need to press this one too.
Now you hold it. That man gave everything for her. She's got so many expensive presents over the years. Just look at that old necklace she's wearing. That man spoiled her brain. In fact, I think I saw another present he was meaning to give her on the very day he was killed.
Another gift?
Why, yes, a little bottle of perfume, I believe. It's horrible. Talon was such a kind man, and what happened to him is despicable.
What was the last statement important? Yes, absolutely. Your Honor, the defense wishes to add the statement about the perfume to the testimony.
What are you doing? Trying to implicate the defense even harder?
I think it's an important detail.
Perfume is irrelevant.
But I suppose the prosecution has no objections to strengthening our case.
Very well, witness. Please add what you just said to your testimony.
Yep.
This was some kind of perfume, I suppose.
You mean this perfume bought for the princess before the crime?
Witness. What is it?
Just to confirm, you say that this bottle of perfume was bought for Malin by her father, correct?
What else would it be for? I'm sure you, Talon wasn't the type to indulge in perfumes. Far from it.
Well, you're wrong, witness.
Oh, is that so? Was the ranch owner truly a perfume connoisseur?
No, Your Honor. The bottle of perfume was bought for the princess.
Objection. So what, defense? Sure, it's technically a contradiction, but what does the purpose of this bottle change? Yes, defense, I admit I'm confused as well. Please explain why this point is important.
Earlier in the trial, Malin mentioned that Talon bought this perfume in preparation last minute. Isn't that right, Malin? It sure is. We have a gift for the king prepared. We had a gift prepared for the king when the news arrived that it would actually be the princess making this invitation. Father quickly rode out into town to get a new gift. This info puts one thing into question. Somebody's movement. Talon's taste in gifts. Giving someone perfume is a very rude gesture. It practically says, you smell terrible, straight to their face. As well for Talon's true intentions. Did he intend to invent? Oh, I fucked up. This bottle of perfume costs a good. Nope. Yep. Nope.
Is that true? I get bottles of cologne every year on my birthday. Is everyone truly? Objection. What nonsense! We are in a court of law. Your personal opinions are not about what makes a good gift are irrelevant. I regularly receive the finest perfumes myself. The notion that someone of my caliber would smell unpleasant, it is preposterous. Your Honor, I request the defense be penalized for this blatant disregard of the court's time.
For once I agree with the arrogant prosecutor. Please don't say such judgmental things, Link.
Hey, whose side are you on here? What seems to be an agreement, defense be more mindful on the things you say. Shit!
Sorry. But that's not the only thing. The fact that the perfume was bought at the last minute causes an even bigger problem. It puts one thing into question. Somebody's movements. Someone's movements around the ranch are put into serious doubt.
Someone's? Well, don't keep us waiting then, defense. Who is this person?
Naturally, the person whose movements become suspect is... It was Engo's movements because he said before he left in the morning, returned right before the princess was meant to arrive. The witness himself. If you recall, this bottle of perfume, which has just been purchased, was found at the crime scene. A crime scene the witness supposedly never went to. He shouldn't have known about the bottle.
Order, order. The defense raises a very valid point. You simpleton, what is the meaning of this?
Well, witness, did you get to the scene of the crime at any point?
No, of course I did. I was working in the silo all day. Remember, I saw the gift the day before the crime. The girl's lying town must have gotten it the day before.
You're the one who's lying. Father didn't leave the ranch at all that day.
One's word against another's. Defense, do you have any way to prove that your version of the events is true?
Smell the perfume, because if it's a day old, it wouldn't smell as strong. No. There would be a Find the receipt? When you buy something, you usually get a receipt, and the receipt always shows the date of purchase. It might still be at the house. I say we send someone out to look for it. Father never throws receipts away. We have a drawer full of them. The perfume one should be right on top.
I believe this idea has some merit. Soldiers, rush out to the ranch house immediately and search for that receipt.
Your Honor.
Yes, what is it, soldier?
We have just received the receipt from the team stationed at the crime scene.
Very well, thank you. I shall now read it out.
There's a lot writing on this.
From Tingle's Mysterious Smells. Ah, yes, I think I've seen that store. It's that eccentric-looking place in the back alley.
You couldn't miss the blinding neon colors if you tried. It's an utter eyesore.
All of this nobody running a monopoly on Hylian perfume is preposterous. Perhaps, but back to the matter at hand.
Nerve of that thunderhead. Why would anyone ever shop at a store the owner calls every other customer a fairy?
Prosecutor?
And the balloons! Oh, the balloons! That fool popped one right in front of my face!
Prosecutor Dragmire, enough. Continuing on. Purchased item, 1 bottle of rosy ruby. Oh my, this is quite the price.
And Dorf is fucking ranting. Objection! Your Honor, please, the date of the purchase.
Ah, yes, right, date of purchase. Why, it's March 16th, the day of the murder.
Could have also just used the princess's testimony about the change about being made last minute. I don't think that was in here. Because that's at least not a key evidence I can present right now. But yeah, that definitely could have done. Also, I think her previous testimonies were thrown out because she was being an unreliable witness. Because that can happen. If the witness is unreliable, their testimonies can't be thrown out.
Why, it's March 16th, the day of the murder. Order, order.
Yes, we've got him. Well, in like a real dialogue, but you gotta put him back when you added the bottle of oil, I thought. Maybe. I don't know how court works, because I've never been to court. in cases like this, I have had to attend some family court stuff, but that's that was just because, like, you know, I kind of had to be there to keep control of said child. So, anyway, phew, I think we're finally getting somewhere. But this still doesn't mean anything. Perhaps the witness briefly went back to the ranch before for something and saw the bottle then. Yes, that's it. I was getting thirsty, so I went back to get a drink. I must have seen the bottle then. Oh, come on. You think we're gonna believe that? Do you have any proof that he didn't? Oh, I believe this calls for further testimony. As the witness now claims to have visited the crime scene shortly before the murder, we should learn of his exact movements that day. My movements? Well, all right. There's not a whole lot to say, though. It's unfortunate that I managed to weasel out of it. This next testimony is be full of lies. This is my chance. I think the U.S. attorney respectively to be a mix of U.S. and Japanese court. That's fair. Because normally, in at least a U.S. court, you don't have the witness stand on something like this. Like, you don't have them come up to something like this in the front. Because Western U.S. courts, you have the two, actually, here, let me bring up my, let me bring up the, this here. My beautiful portrait of Edgeworth. It's a... Oop, didn't mean to do that. It's, so, normally, can I increase the size by chance? There we go. So, normally, you've got, like, judge here. Time for power software explanations. I mean... The man almost killed the Stop Killing Games movement, and he's also just not an all-around good person anymore like everyone thought he was. So, you've got the judge here. And then, normally, this right here to the right of him is like, the person doing the record, so court record, we'll do C-Rec. Because in U.S. Court, all evidence and witnesses must be presented before the trial. Nothing can be added during the trial. Japanese courts can't. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true, too. Yeah, because discovery... The reason why U.S. courts take a while is because in discovery, they have to document everything that they find, and they have to come together, essentially, and be like, okay, this is vital to this, this is going to be vital for our plan, this is vital for this, and stuff like that. And, they're not exactly presenting their strategies, but they're just presenting, this is what we find relevant to the case that can pertain to our strategy. This is what we need to be presented in the court. And, so... I don't know why there's something up at the top here. I don't know why that's black. Anyway, so yeah, you got the court record person here. And then over here is the witness. Those are two T's. And then you got the two tables here. Defense. Prosecutor. While we're here, Larry Butts. Oh my God, Cody. And then I'll do it after this. Hold on. All right, and then you got jury. And then back here you have just, you know, people. So yeah, you definitely Japanese courts you can add things during trial, but for for US, everything has to be presented so that depending on the strategy that the defense or the prosecutor wants to do, they do whatever. All right, so now we're doing Larry Butts for the drawing. I don't think layout is important. I don't think it is either, but yeah, the different systems definitely worked in different ways. All right, Larry Butts. So he definitely has like kind of a pompadour and then like some spiky hair, I think. And then he wears like an orange coat, I believe. Let's go for orange here. It goes over kind of like this. And then let's make sure this gets filled in properly. Oh, wrong color. Oh no, it wasn't connected. Oh well. And I believe he has like a white shirt underneath. There we go. That's like, oh, he has black hair. He has black hair too. So yeah, that's my Larry Butts. How close was I? You know what? I wasn't too far off. I wasn't that far off. Let's go to images. Like, I really wasn't that far off. He doesn't have like a pompadour like I thought he does. Not black hair, yeah. I wasn't too far off. I think I did a pretty good job, though. I think I did pretty good. Alright, anyway.
As already stated, I volunteered to work in the silo. At one point, I briefly went back to the branch house to... Oh shit, how long have I not had a timer? That's not great. Oh well, I guess I'll just,
Let's get totally rock a pompadour. He totally could. Anyway.
At one point, I briefly went back to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water. I went back to the silo right after that and stayed there until the courier came. We'll be back to the ranch house at all since then. What about the shipment, bitch? At some point, the detective came and told me what happened. Wow, was that detective one fine woman?
You're already lying. You weren't at the silo all day?
See, I haven't done anything to warrant suspicion. Eat my shoes, you rat.
I'll pass. There has to be something wrong in there. Can't put a flawless story together that quickly. Couldn't he have a drink from the milk bottles? Not if they were sealed. But there was a shipment ready to be sent. I believe him on the fact that Ingo is one fine woman. Inpa, you mean? What were you doing?
Working on shipments and fulfilling orders. We send out crates of milk to milk bars all across the kingdom every day, you know. Milk bars. Naturally, everyone loves a good drink, you know. And our milk is renowned as the best there is. I hear some others water those down. Despicable.
I see. I think you said earlier that your job is to work on the structures and equipment, though?
Indeed. Helen and the girl usually be the ones overseeing the milk orders. However, since a worthy visitation was happening that day, I felt they needed their minds unoccupied, so I took it upon myself to do it this time.
Sure. father.
The murder, I got scared that the Chica's force investigation would delay the shipment and that I, the great Ingo, would be getting the blame. Thankfully, it all went through fine.
Yeah, and you were so concerned with sending it off quickly that you wrote the wrong delivery address on it. Bah, you Hylians, ridiculous. Getting tipsy from something like milk. My name is Malin Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Something like milk. I bet you couldn't even handle a sip of Gerudo's normal pursuit. A real man's drink. A real man's drink? Aren't most of the Gerudo women? Speaking of drinks, I believe the witness was talking about how he conned himself a glass of water.
Yes, of course.
Moving along, where'd my cup go? Oh, did I leave my... I left my cup out. Ingo Montoya.
Moving all that heavy stuff around works up a sweat. You see, I got very thirsty, and at one point, I briefly went back to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water.
You didn't think just to take a sip of milk you were handling?
No, it wouldn't be right. That milk was for the customers, you see. I just didn't want to get into any trouble.
A truly honest man. How dare you suggest he would steal from his own workplace? Right. So, what did you see at the house?
Nothing much. I got my drink and left. I still had a lot of work to do, you see. I suppose I must have seen the perfume bottle then. In fact, yes, I remember it clearly now. There it was, on the table, plain as day.
Oh, there goes my idea.
Great.
What happened after that, witness?
I went back to the silo right after that and stayed there until the courier came.
And you were able to complete this so quickly on your own?
You don't know the might of the great Ingo.
What time did you get the water?
What? I get things done in no time. I did almost break my back getting those crates out of the silo, though. There were so many, and all so heavy. It was like a puzzle in there. Anyway, that's not a point. The point is, I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then.
Are you sure?
Sure as I could be.
You never went back in, even after the crime was discovered.
They wouldn't let me in. Serving the crime scene or such. Couldn't even get any of my things. After I was questioned, no one gave me half a glance. I had to sleep in the stable that night. It was terrible.
Is what he said that important? It is important, though. Your Honor, I would like the witness to add this last statement to the testimony.
What? What are you trying to pull now?
Very well. Witness, please amend your statement.
Yeah, fine, whatever.
Which, that's true. They did leave the ranch after the crime. But they had to search the milk bottles. Couldn't you have stayed at an inn?
But what am I, made of money? Think, boy, I'm just a simple ranch worker, you know? Phew, you lawyers always flaunting your wealth.
Right. Sorry. Not actually sorry. I doubt one night would bankrupt this guy. Just look at what he's wearing.
At some point, the detective came and told me what happened, and wow, was that detective one fine woman?
Could you elaborate?
She's a hard-working woman who gets to the point and takes what she wants. Not to mention her impeccable fashion sense. What's not to love?
That's the part I wanted him to elaborate. That's not the part I wanted him to elaborate. Wow, he seems totally smitten with her. Sure does. I wonder how Impa feels about it.
Perhaps when this chore of a trial is over, I could But no, it'll have to wait. You thought you could distract me, did you? I'm a genius rat worker and go see through your schemes.
He's sticking to that story, huh? Yeah, it was desperate physics, but it holds up surprisingly well. Hard to believe this is such the same Indigo I know. It's usually so nice. Time to press for more details. It's sure to slip up somewhere. This must be a piece of evidence or a profile waiting to disprove what he's saying. Silo at one point, briefly went back to the ranch house, get myself a glass of water. The fire has to, like, I think just yeah, I didn't mean to. Didn't even get to sleep or access any of my belongings. I had to spend the night in the stable. I really hope that doesn't hurt me. It was the right choice! Let's go! Witness, there's something seriously wrong with your testimony.
What? What are you talking about?
You say you couldn't get any of your belongings because they were all at the ranch house, correct? A ranch house you were not allowed to go in.
That's right.
Well, that would imply you should still be wearing your work clothes. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but those don't look like work clothes at all.
Yeah.
Defense has a point. Witness apparently appears pretty well dressed for the court. Imagine he would want to solely those clothes to work. Well, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah. Oh, of course. I can explain. It's simple. These are brand new. Yeah, on the way to the courthouse, I went shopping for a nice new outfit. After all, I couldn't show up to a court dressed like a bum.
Yes, defense. Certain people have a modicum of respect for the court and show up dressed appropriately. What's that supposed to mean? This was my finest Sora suit. So, you claim you bought these clothes after the crime, is that correct?
Very much so. This morning, in fact. Why do I need to repeat myself?
No. There's no way. You buying these clothes today is simply impossible.
What?
How can you claim so? But as you know, evidence is everything in court. Either prove the witness couldn't have bought these clothes today, or get out. Fuck, what would it be? I don't know which one it would be. Was it the shipment yesterday? I'm gonna go here. This proves you couldn't have bought those clothes. I must admit, I don't see the connection here. Fuck! It was returned today. There's none. The defense is just wasting our time as usual. I needn't that worry. A piece of evidence. The picture! He's wearing it in the picture! Also, Coda presented himself. He said it was broke. That wouldn't have worked in this game's logic. We needed solid proof. Photo evidence, in this case, that he had these clothes. I'd like to turn the court's attention to this. Ah. This is one lovely pictograph. Ah, it reminds me of the days of objection. What about this pictograph defense? Well, just look at what Mr. Ingo is wearing. This photo is from Malon's childhood, but Ingo is very cleanly wearing the same outfit he has on right now. He couldn't have bought it today. Yeah! Order? I will have order. Why, the defense is absolutely correct. Hope the witness has a good explanation for this. Think we finally got him. There's no way he can weasel out this time. Objection! Oh, unless someone weasels out for him. Isn't it obvious? Naturally, the witness would know he would need to wear his nice clothes for the royal visitation that was scheduled for that day. He bought them in the silo in advance, so he could quickly change just before the royal visitation's arrival. Oh! 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 Of course, I need to be presentable after all. Can't look like a bum in front of the most important people in the kingdom. It was my favorite outfit, so I bought the same ones. Wait a minute, this is insane. What kind of kangaroo court is this? The prosecution keeps making excuses up on the spot. Ingo was clearly lying about buying the clothes before the trial. He's definitely trying to hide something. Your Honor, surely you won't accept this blatant perjury. Accept it, Judge. There could be no other explanation. The prosecution's explanation does seem plausible. What? However, the fact that the witness doesn't simply say it himself, and instead make up a lie about buying the clothes, is indeed very suspicious. Defense. Prosecution has posted that there is no possible explanation for this contradiction. What is your opinion on the matter? Can the defense think of an alternate version of events? This is big. I really need to think this through. Ingo is acting really suspicious right now. He's desperately trying to patch up holes in his testimony to conceal his real movements. Why would he be doing that? Because he's a murderer. If it's not Malon, Ingo's the only other person who could have done this. I have to assume he did if I want to think Malon is innocent. With that in mind, why would Ingo change out of his work clothes? What happened to make it necessary? Malon's blood got on them. They were eaten by a cow. When Ingo killed Talon, his clothes must have gotten blood on them. He had to change into something else to hide his involvement. But then when the Shiga Force had found the clothes inside the house... No! He burned his clothes! How could they have disappeared? They were thrown in a fire. Ingo burned his clothes. That's it. This explains everything. I believe I can offer an alternate explanation. Kinky? I love that they introduced the deduction mechanic.
Nonsense. Judge, the defense has spent far too long sitting in evidence and sitting in silence just now. They clearly have nothing. I call for a quick ruling.
Objection. Not only can I explain it, in fact, the defense formally accuses the witness of the murder.
No!
It's simple. The reason he had to swap his outfit, and why he's been lying about the circumstances ever since, is because he got it stained with the victim's blood.
Objection. Preposterous. If there were any discarded bloody clothes nearby, the Sheikah force would have found them. We would be trying someone else for murder right now.
Why, you are absolutely correct, prosecutor. Naturally, Ingo couldn't have left his bloody clothes laying around. And so he used this to dispose of them. Your Honor, cast your mind into the princess's last testament.
Princesses. Ah, the mysterious fire. Objection. Surely you made yourself sure we all knew how meaningless her testimony was.
And yet, with this new context in mind, it gains a completely new meaning. An empty bottle of lamp oil found by a burned out fire. Ingo was using this lamp oil to quickly burn away his stained work clothes. Well, how about it, witness? My scenario explains everything. You killed Talon and then tried to hide it.
This is... No! Hold on! What drivel are you spouting here? Me? Kill Talon? You already know that's impossible. Everything you said is wrong. I have no idea what you're on about. I have an alibi for the time of the crime. I couldn't have done it. There's no way I could have completed the milk shipments and killed Talon and tried to hide my involvement. The fire was just made for a quick breakfast. There's no mystery there. Stop trying to pin this on poor innocent Ingo.
I already know where the fault is on that.
Now, I shouldn't have to remind you, defense, but you yourself were surprised that Ingo was able to complete the shipment in time. Adding even more things for him to do in that time is preposterous. That's right. The great Ingo is efficient at his job, but not that efficient.
No, it had to have been him. I'm sure of it. Must be some trick at play here. Some kind of shortcut. I must find it. No, I'm gonna press on this first. Would have really taken that long to murder someone and burn some clothes?
It would have taken long enough to definitely make the scheme feasible.
Completing those shipments is a rather involved process. You have to milk the cows, clean the bottles, pour the milk into them, put them into crates, and load those onto a wagon. I love working with the cows, but that part takes the longest because you only get a little at a time. So Mr. Ingo said the whole thing really does take a while. Father and I usually have to work at it to get it done in time for the courier's arrival.
There you go, defense. Your own client knows this is an unshakable truth.
Okay, so there's no way he could have completed the shipments and also do the killing. In case there has to be some way for him to finish the work faster. We just have to find it. Ah, but did you though? Did you really complete those shipments properly?
Objection!
Defense, I shouldn't have to remind you that the Sheikah Force checked the boxes thoroughly. They were definitely full of milk bottles. Oh, I'm sure it looked that way. What are you getting at, Defense? Here you go, Your Honor. Huh. Milk for me? Are you trying to bribe the judge now? I didn't think you'd stoop so low. The Crown will be informed of this. Oh, it's nothing like that. All I'm asking is that His Honor try tasting the milk. Just one little sip. This is highly irregular. But to be honest, I could use a drink. All this talking does make one's throat dry, you know? Fucking tell me about it. I have to voice everyone. You know what? Perfect timing for this. I'm gonna run some ads. Because I'm gonna go grab my cup. And also, it's been an hour, so enjoy. Oh, okay. Hello. Welcome back. I have some nice ice cold tea now. Taking care of a streamer like a strange Tamagotchi. Did you know that those are back with like whatchamacallit? Like they have color and LED. Some of them even have fucking like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi capabilities, and that's fucking strange, dude. But to be honest, could you use a drink? All this talking does make one's throat dry, you know? Probably talk the least out of everyone here, though. Since the defense insists, I'll go ahead and take a sip. Yeah, color and Wi-Fi. Is this what passes for milk these days? These almost taste like water. Water? I have to agree, this is definitely not standard milk. As we've heard from the princess and the detective, Lon Lon Ranch is renowned for the quality of its products. But there's no way people would say that the milk is this lousy. I'm surprised I didn't make it. Honestly, well, not same. Kind of same, but not same. Because there's more market for buying the different Tamagotchis because it's that one individual pet. Whereas the mobile game would be various different pets. But then you could also implement the case of like essentially buying a Tamagotchi that like for the same price as a normal Tamagotchi, but it would be on your phone. I don't know. I'm not a business owner yet. But whatever. As if the unwashed masses would know the difference between quality and garbage. Where are you going with this defense? So, about that. It ruins the nostalgia. That too. It's simple, you see. I received this bottle from Detective Impa, still unopened during the first recess. As we know, there was no milk shipments today, so this must have come from one of Ingo's shipments from yesterday. It's true that Ingo couldn't have murdered Talon and also completed the shipments on his own. Unless he cheated. Ingo watered down the milk to get the shipments done in time. Order? Order! Yes, I suppose that would work. Indeed. All he had to do is milk fewer of the cows. Then save enough time without ruining the taste too much. I guess he used about a 50-50 split of water and milk. It could be an older app that isn't on anymore or something. I don't know. Either that or your phone's not good enough to play the game. I know that was the case with some games on my phone. My old phone, at least.
This is... No! I'm killing...
Objection! Let me stop you right there.
I will concede that something odd happened to that shipment. But all you have proven is that Ingo is a slacker. Dare you? Objection! Be quiet, you mongrel. Sure, Ingo watered down the milk. That doesn't make him a killer, though, does it?
Well, no. But now we do know that he definitely could have done it. We know he did go to the crime scene. And we know he did have the time and opportunity to kill Talon as well.
Yet there is a vital element missing still. Let me put it in simple terms so even an idiot like you can understand.
Oh, rebuttal.
You lack the murder weapon. If Ingo was the murderer, then it couldn't have been the son.
And why is that?
It's simple. If the girl's story about working on the fence is true, then she was using the saw while her father was being murdered. It couldn't have been in two places at the same time.
Do I agree with this? So my main question is why would you only have one wood saw? Because if you're gonna get someone to help with like sawing something like a fence post or something, you would want at least two saws. I believe we're in complete agreement on this point. There's one that saw, but 6 knives. Yeah, but those were all accounted for, wiped clean of blood, and also not determined to be the murder weapon. It could have been the axe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
You do realize that problem that creates for you, right?
Sure, can all be explained.
As if. But very well, then let's move on to why nothing else could have been the murder weapon either. You lack the murder weapon, though. Where was the supposed other murder weapon could have come from?
Have you forgotten this murder weapon? This murder happened on a ranch? There are plenty of sharp things on site.
That's simply impossible. We checked all sharp objects on the ranch and searched everywhere. No fresh blood was found anywhere else.
And with this piece of evidence, I've won the argument. Oh, fuck.
I don't see how that piece of evidence is relevant at all. The only thing you're winning here is a participation trophy. And here it is. This shine's new penalty.
Shiny new penalty. Rather go empty-handed. Couldn't Ningo have just disposed of it? Couldn't Ningo just dispose of it in some way?
Huh, that's impossible, you see. No items from the ranch's inventory list are missing. That list is indisputable.
How can you be so sure the inventory is accurate?
Use your head. There was a royal visitation scheduled for that day. The ranch owners needed everything to be in order. We would have doubled, even triple-checked that list when he wrote it.
I suppose he would have, but... Oh, I guess there were other questions that could have... Nope, that fucked me. Oh, that fucked me. Fuck. So there's a lot of sharp things. Simply is impossible. Checked all sharp boxes and red sugar, flash block is found everywhere. So I think I fucked up earlier. Couldn't I go just wipe it off? Blood leaves traces. It's not that easy to get rid of. People like us aren't so sensitive. What are those things like swords can easily tell by smell? Naturally, the Sheikah Force employs people just as fast. Also, as Lon Lon Ranch focuses on selling horses and milk, the animals there aren't regularly butchered. Still, there's no good reason why nearly tools would have fresh blood on them. Any such implement would have stood out like a sore thumb. Well, I guess that's a good point. I may have to rethink this. Couldn't a Vingador just dispose of it in some way? That's impossible use. What about the second Saw when he left for the perfume? What would... could have bought one in town. Yeah, but that's not gonna... This is gonna be the same. Are you be so accurate? The inventory list itself is false. Fascinating. With the perfume not being included on the list? Yeah, well, I don't know, because he bought it before when they learned of the Switch. And we don't know when that was presented. But, also, I guess I'm making the right decision here, because, Yeah, this isn't like giving me a penalty. Fascinating. What exactly makes you question the veracity of this document? Oh shit. Something about the inventory itself. Okay, I'm on the right track. Why would there only be one saw? It's simple. You only need a brief look at the inventory to see it can't be trusted. You can't just go around making such general statements, Defense. Take that. This part looks off. Only thing that's off here is your brain. There's nothing suspicious there. It was written by Ingo. You're so fucking right. Oh my god. Just look here. The one who compiled the list was Ingo himself. Could have easily falsified the counts as part of his plan. That doesn't matter. Nothing could have left the ranch. Are you really sure nothing left the ranch? What about a few little shipments of milk? Preposterous. Have you forgotten that said shipments have been checked by the Sheikah force before they were allowed to leave? It's true, but there was a place the Sheikah could have overlooked. What in Din's name are you babbling about? We're talking about bog standard crates here, boy. Not exactly vast dungeons full of nooks and crannies and stuff things into, are they? Where could they have missed a murder weapon? It's simple. They overlooked the crates themselves. Because it could have been hidden under one of the crates. The crates themselves. The killer could have used a big chunk of wood to kill the victim, then nailed it in. Oh, fuck. Well, I guess it could have been hidden in the milk. Ruining the shipments. Without ruining the shipments. That's right. Ingo put the Ingo put the murder weapon inside one of the bottles to conceal it from the search. It seemed plausible. Didn't it? Now wait just a moment. A weapon in a milk bottle wouldn't go unnoticed. Someone would have reported it. How can you be so sure? Do you even know how much milk an average milk bar uses each day? All those shipments must have certainly been completely used up by now. Someone drinking from that bottle would have found it for sure. Choked on it, even if they took too large of a swig. It would be a huge scandal. Well, he's right about that, but he's missing some vital information. You would be correct that a weapon showing up in someone's milkshake would cause quite a stir. If the milk bar actually made it to any if the milk ever actually made it to any milk bar, that is. You see, I overheard a very interesting tale during the recess. Word was sent from the ranch not long ago that one of those shipments was returned unopened due to being misaddressed. What? No! Indeed. If you recall, Ingo was the one who handled all of that. If the milk bar made it to any milk, that is. Now that's strange. The ranch supplies the same milk bars every day. Even if he had messed up the street address a little, the couriers would have known where the shipment was meant to go. How could he have bungled it? That. It's almost as if he didn't want anyone receiving the bottle of milk with the murder weapon in it. I bet Engo expected this box to stay into shipping limbo a little while longer. How unfortunate for him that the postal service was on its game today. Maybe because they were worried it'd start to smell. I believe this calls for us to investigate those boxes of milk more closely. Soldiers, have these boxes retrieved from the ranch immediately. I'm liking this. This is really fun. If this is what the later Phoenix games are like, I'm gonna love them.
No good on Twitch. You're bad at voices. This is slander. Why would I kill Tally? Sir, he's a bit of a layabout, but he did give me a job. Why would I want him dead?
The motive? That's simple. Why, I'm surprised you were even asking about it.
I'm older than you. Raisins.
Evidence easily explains your motive. The very inheritance document you brought to the court's attention states the following. In case of the tester's death, his daughter Melon of Long Long Ranch will inherit the ranch.
Cranberries.
Unless she is unable to oversee it, in which case it should be divided between the crown and the remaining employees. Oh.
What?
You not only killed Talon, but decided to frame Malin for the crime as well. So you would be the one to inherit part of the ranch. That's why you volunteered to work in the silo all day. Gave you an alibi so that Malin could be the only possible culprit. Of course, you knew about the rule of visitation in advance. You knew Malin would go back to the ranch house to prepare before they arrived. A perfect setup for the royals to find her next to the body.
No! What are you talking about? Talon saw the ranch over to me?
Yes. Did he really not know? I guess it was Dragmire who reviewed the actual document, not him. Your Honor! What is it, soldier? The box you requested is here. Already? That was quite fast. Apparently the team at the ranch had already noticed something awry and with it on their own. The box arrived just as we were about to rush out a courier to deliver our message. Well. Let's see for ourselves then, shall we? Part of the shipment that proves my case. I wonder which one it is. Here it is, from the bottle with a slight red tint to the milk. Looks like some kind of serrated knife. That explains the irregular wound pretty nicely. How could those Shiaka idiots have missed this? I'm sure the milk was pure white when they first checked it. It took a whole day for the blood to dissolve in it. Either way, no matter how you slice it, this proves my theory right. Obviously, the one in the white, I can only see in black and white.
Oh, fine. You want to know why? You want to know why I really killed that scumbag? No. What are you?
So you admit it?
Yes, I admit it.
Also, the milk just arrived.
What would you do if one day, after years of breathtaking labor, despite putting all into the ranch, you were thrown away like rubbish without any reason? Fine. Well, we don't need you anymore.
Peter, the milk is here. What? That doesn't make any sense.
Don't lie, I heard it all. I was just returning back from another day of spine-wrenching work, and lo and behold, was this? Man, the talent are talking behind my back. I heard it all. We'll let him go after the visitation. We can handle things without it. And so, After volunteering to work on that shipment, I quietly slipped out while the girl was busy and shanked the good-for-nothing slacker. You should have seen his face. He didn't expect it at all. So yes, Malin, I killed that lazy bum you call the father. And he deserved it.
Order. The witness will cease his boasting over such a terrible deed. I think we've heard enough. Soldiers, take him away. Hold it.
Wait just a moment. Plot twist, it was about a cow. It was either a cow or a horse. Ingo.
Yes, girl. Want to apologize for what you've done?
Apologize, me? You're horrible. We weren't planning to fire you at all. You were completely misunderstanding what we were saying.
What?
We've had so much work recently. Well, you know how it goes with the royal visits. Always a busy time. Gotta make sure everything's in tip-top shape. I do worry some about old Ingo. He's been complaining about his back recently. Do wish he'd take a step back and relax sometime. Maybe we should convince him to take a vacation?
Now there's an idea. It'll do him good to just get out for a while. I'll discuss it with him after the visitation. After things calm down, we can handle everything without him.
It's... You were planning... What? A vacation? For me? And I did... No. No, I can't be so... insane. No!
What the fuck is up with the chicken? Turn the lights off. Carry me home.
We have witnessed today the results of a truly horrifying misunderstanding. But misunderstanding or not, what you have done is unforgivable.
Talon was a kind man, beloved by all who had the good fortune to cross his path. His loss will be felt not only at his ranch, but all across Hyrule.
The killer turned out to be an utterly pathetic man with delusions of grandeur. I mean, look at him! An utter idiot dressed like a clown!
Jeez, he's really laying into him. I bet he's just upset because he lost.
Prosecution's rant aside, I think it is time to declare peace. It's just a formality, but will the defendant please step up to the stand? Young miss, I am very sorry for the situation you found yourself in. Very glad you appear to have such a good attorney as a friend.
I wouldn't have chosen anyone else. Aw, thanks.
Now then, without further ado, in the name of Goddess Hylia and the sacred land of Hyrule, I hereby find Malin of Lon Lon Ranch not guilty. Court is adjourned.
We did it! I suppose so. I guess Ingo's outburst kind of soured the mood. I don't think I can ever forgive Mr. Ingo for what he's done. That's fair enough, honestly. Really, though, you shouldn't think about that for now. You're free. Time to celebrate. I guess you're right. Excellent work. I knew you'd pull through. Oh, thanks. I couldn't have done it without you, really. So, thank you. No, that's not quite right. You want to thank someone. I'm not the one who deserves it the most. Huh? Your Highness? I thought you were going back to Hyrule Castle. Time to celebrate. Your father's dead! What strings did Impa have to pull together here? But I realized I should apologize for what I did personally. It's an honor. There is no need to bow. Not after what I would have done. Really, if not for my status, I would have probably been carted off to prison alongside that angry little man. Perjury's pretty serious, so that's probably not entirely wrong. As usual, you don't give yourself enough credit to this. How can you say that, detective? I almost condemned an innocent person to prison. Yes, there are some things you should think twice about doing in the future. What if she just stabs Zelda right here? But it's all thanks to you that the young lady over here finally went free. Huh? Come on, attorney. Show Her Highness what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, the oil bottle. The bottle? I'm the princess now! Well, it's true. Without this, and without knowing about the fire, we wouldn't have had any proof to sustain our claims. And, really, your obviously false testimony had yow! Impa just stepped on my foot. Well, there you have it. In any case, I'm sure Miss Mellon isn't too upset. Yeah, well, sure. Turn hot! We have orders to escort the princess back to the castle immediately. Ah, just in time. Farewell, Your Highness. And so they left. Now then, listen to me. I know that I am perhaps too lenient on the princess, but Impa stabbed my foot. Tough times are ahead. The princess will need all the confidence she can get to lead the kingdom through them. She needs to learn to take responsibilities for her actions too, though. And she will. Huh? Her Highness is in for a rather unpleasant afternoon today, I imagine. The urgency with which she has just been escorted out of here isn't coincidental. I can't guys, hi. Hold on. Hi, I'm Silent Hero 47. I'm 28 and I still can't learn how to fucking read, apparently. What, is the king going to scold her?
Water and water and water, water, water and water and water, water, water and water and water, water, water and water and water, water.
Thank you, Cody. At the very least. Now then, my duty calls, unfortunately, so I must be off. Again, you did well today, both of you. I trust that I will be able to rely on you in future court proceedings as well. I'll try my best. That's all I ask. That unpleasant prosecutor seems to be making his way over here, so I'll be excusing myself post-haste. Farewell. Uh-oh. You! Hello. Nice day we're having, isn't it?
Tell me, now, where did that blasted detective go? My reputation tarnished this way by some novice attorney from the boonies.
Dramatic much? Looks about ready to burst from anger. Impa's next to die? Probably. don't be such a sore loser. He lost. Deal with it. Yeah, we got the right verdict. Doesn't that make you even a little bit glad?
Yes, I suppose there is some worth in that.
Is Ganon actually like a nice guy, but he's just a dick in court?
What transpired is most unfortunate. I can only offer my condolences. Just remember that it was that meddling, idiotic princess and the stupidity of that blasted detective that led to your arrest. So if you have any grievances, take it up with them.
I suppose there is some truth to what he's saying. Yeah, Ganondorf showing emotion. That's fucking crazy.
Speaking of the detective, it appears she has fled from me like a cuckoo on fire. Mark my words, she will regret what she's done for generations.
Oh, that sure was something. I don't know if he was being sincere or just wanted to shift blame onto someone else. I wouldn't say he's entirely blameless. Never mind that. You think you'll be alright running the ranch by yourself? Of course, I'll come visit, but I have my attorney duties too. I'll get in touch with the castle, see if they can spare some men to work at the ranch. Silly as my father may have seemed, he really did prepare me to take over one day, and he's taught me well. I'll make sure the animals are well cared for, just as I always have. That's the spirit. I believe in you. I really want to thank you for bringing the truth to light. If it wasn't for you, I don't even want to think about what could have happened. Don't mention it. I'm just glad everything worked out in the end. Then dudes. And so ended a very personal case for me. Felt like a weight had been lifted off my back. Alan continued working at the ranch, hoping to make it prosper even beyond what her father could accomplish. I didn't really think much about it, but the days following were some of the happiest I've lived for a long time. Little did I know that a terrible tragedy would soon shock the entire kingdom, and I'd find myself smack dab in the middle of it. But that's a legend for another day. Oh, is that it? Is it just the one case? Wow, that was really good. The Legend of Zelda. This was a really well put together fan game. This was really cool. This was really, I liked this. This was a good little 3 to 4 hour game. This was really good. Not a lot of replayability, unfortunately, because you already know what to do, but this was a very nice. I really hope that they continue to work on it and it becomes like its own full like thing, because this would be really cool to play. I would love to play more of this. Time to play Ace Attorney now. Yeah, no, that's gonna be next game stream. I'm gonna have to call this one a bit. I'm gonna have to call this stream a bit short today. It was just really hot. Our power went out for a little bit, so I couldn't stream then. And yeah. It's all good. It'd be really interesting going forward if the new update, like the new version, has like another case. There's Zelda getting reprimanded. And there she goes. And there's Impa. Oh, I like that she has a cat. That's so cool. Just got a warning for what? For like Arizona. What? That's something weird too. My phone doesn't give me the like Amber Alert. Well, not like Amber Alerts, but turn it off. Did it read? Oh, there's Malin. Or Talon, not Malin. And thank you for playing. This was really good. This was a really fun game. I enjoyed it. Except for the part where it crashed when I was readjusting the screen. That kind of sucked, but... Oh, is it? Is that it? Okay. Scene select is now unlocked. Extra 1 is unlocked. Oh. What's extra 1? This is really cool. I liked this. No. No. Intro scene. Meanwhile, somewhere else. Oh no. Oh, this is funny. I wonder what's at the end. No! Alright, we'll give it one more try. I can't believe this is an actual thing. This is hilarious. What was that? No, you robbed me of that. Hold on. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. Alright, that's funny, though. That's pretty funny. Just sent you what the alert was for. Epilogue. Oh, is it just yeah, okay. Okay, after the case. All right. Well, that was fun. Thank you everybody for being here, chilling out. Appreciated it. Thank you so much for the follow and all the redemptions. I still have to find a sound and also put up the alert for the drawing and the improv ad to be put up. But yeah. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Y'all have been awesome. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.